Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling when you're trying to get a clear picture of your customers, but the info is just everywhere. Different departments, different spreadsheets. It's like trying to read a book with chapters hidden all over the house. Well, today, we're really getting into the tech designed to fix that. Customer data platforms, or CDPs. Our mission, like always, is to cut through the jargon, give you the important stuff, and make you genuinely well-informed. Maybe even surprise you with a few facts. For this deep dive, we've looked at some great sources, real in-depth research, but also some practical guides. So we should get a solid view on how businesses are actually using customer data, not just collecting it.
Exactly. And let's be clear, in today's business world, data, especially customer data, it's not just nice to have, it's pretty much essential for any kind of strategic planning, especially when you think about all the ways businesses talk to customers now, social, email, in the store, online, I mean, the list goes on. Making sense of all that data isn't optional anymore.
Okay, so let's unpack this term, Customer Data Platform, CDP. We hear it a lot. But fundamentally, what is it? Can you break that down?
Sure. At its heart, a CDP is basically software. Its job is to pull together and organize customer data from all those different places a customer interacts with you. Think of it like a central command center for customer information. And the real kicker is how it connects with your other systems, your CRM, your marketing tools, you name it. It gathers and structures data basically in real time. The goal: to build one single unified profile for every single customer. The CDP Institute, they're kind of the go-to folks on this. They define it pretty neatly. A software package that creates a unified, persistent customer database accessible to other systems. Those keywords are unified and persistent. It means one single view, always up to date, and other systems can actually use it. And it builds these profiles by combining data from, well, all over the place. You've got first-party data, the stuff you collect directly, second-party maybe from partners, even third-party data sometimes to fill in gaps. Plus, it pulls from your CRM, maybe a DMP if you use one, your sales systems, web forms, emails, social media, website clicks, what people buy, everything. It's about knitting it all together.
Okay, so it really sounds like it's putting the customer right back in the center, making that whole people-based marketing idea more of a reality, kind of like HubSpot's flywheel concept, putting the customer first.
That's a great analogy. It absolutely enables that. Instead of different teams having their own little slice of the customer picture, the CDP gives everyone that 360-degree view. It helps power that flywheel, making every interaction smarter and more relevant because it's based on the whole picture.
Right. So we know what the platform is, but it's a customer data platform. Let's dig into the data part.
Yeah.
What exactly counts as customer data here, and what kinds of info does a CDP handle?
Good question. Customer data is basically any information someone gives you or that you observe when they interact with your company, online or offline. Visiting your website, commenting on a blog, buying something, talking to customer service, filling out a form. It's all data. And it's incredibly valuable stuff when you put it together. CDPs generally organize this data into four main types. First up is identity data. This is the absolute foundation. Who is this person? So names, age, gender, where they live, email, phone number, maybe their Twitter handle or LinkedIn profile, job title, company account IDs, stuff like that. This is super important for telling individuals apart and avoiding duplicates. You don't want to think one customer is actually three different people, right?
Yeah, definitely not. Okay, so that's identity. What's next?
Second is descriptive data. This adds more color to the picture. It expands on who they are. What this looks like varies a lot, obviously. A car dealer might care about lifestyle stuff related to cars. A company selling diapers wants to know about kids. So examples could be their career industry, income maybe, like style, house type, pets, family details, married, number of kids, hobbies, gym memberships, magazine subscriptions. It helps you group similar customers.
Got it. So identity tells you who, descriptive tells you more about them. What's the third type?
Third is quantitative or behavioral data. This is all about auctions. What do they actually do? How do they engage with you? This includes things like their transaction history, what they bought, when, how much they spent, did they return anything, what's in their abandoned cart. There's also something called RMF analysis here. Recency, frequency, monetary value. Basically, when did they last buy, how often do they buy, and how much do they spend? Super useful for spotting your best customers.
RMF. Yeah, I've heard of that. So it ranks customers based on buying habits.
Exactly. It helps you prioritize. But behavioral data also includes email engagement. Do they open it, click a link, online activity website visits, pages viewed, clicks, social media interaction, even customer service stuff when they contacted you. What about? Who helped them? It's all about their actions and interactions.
Okay, actions and interactions. Makes sense. What's the last one?
The fourth type is qualitative data. This adds the why behind the what. It gives you context, motivations, opinions, attitudes. This often comes from surveys, feedback, maybe direct comments. Why did they buy? How did you hear about us? Or their opinions ratings. Would they recommend you? It could even be softer stuff like favorite color or favorite food, if that's relevant to your business. It's about understanding their mindset. And of course, the specific data points any business collects across these four types will depend entirely on what they do and what they need to know about their customers.
Okay, this landscape of tools, CDP, CRM, DMP, I know it trips people up, myself included sometimes.
Yeah.
You hear customer data and think, aren't they all kind of the same? How is a CDP really different, especially from a CRM, which many businesses already have?
That is a really common point of confusion. And yeah, it's worth clarifying. They both deal with customer data, absolutely, but they do different jobs and collect data differently. A CDP is built to automatically suck in data from all channels, online and offline, anonymous or known, to build that single unified view we talked about. A CRM typically is more focused on tracking intentional interactions, often sales or service related. Think logged calls, support tickets, and often a lot of CRM data relies on manual input from your team. So some key differences jump out. One, CDPs can track anonymous visitors on your website, people you don't know yet. CRMs generally only track known contacts or leads.
Ah, okay, so CDP sees them earlier in the journey.
Exactly. Two, CDPs analyze the whole customer journey and their behaviors across touchpoints. CRMs are often more geared towards tracking sales pipeline stages and maybe forecasting. Three, CDPs are designed to pull in both online and offline data automatically. Getting offline data into a CRM usually takes manual effort. And four, CDPs are built for handling huge volumes of data from tons of sources, and they're good at deduplicating it. CRMs collect data more entry by entry, which, if not managed carefully, can lead to messy or incomplete data.
That clears up the CDP versus CRM distinction a lot. So CRMs are more about managing known relationships and sales processes, while CDPs are about building that deep, unified understanding from all data, known or anonymous.
You got it.
But then there's the DMP, the data management platform, another acronym, another potential point of confusion. How does that fit in? How is it different from a CDP?
Right, the DMP. Also important, but different. David Rabe from the CDP Institute puts it well. He says something like, CDPs work with known and anonymous people, storing identifiable info like names and emails. DMPs work almost entirely with anonymous identifiers. Think cookies, device IDs, IP addresses.
Anonymous identifiers, so more for advertising.
Exactly. That's a key difference. DMPs primarily fuel advertising efforts, targeting audiences, finding similar look-alike audiences. CDPs can influence all kinds of marketing, including personalization on your website, email campaigns, customer service interactions, and advertising. Another big one. CDPs primarily focus on collecting first-party data, your own data about your customers. DMPs heavily rely on third-party data bought from external providers.
Okay, so CDP uses your data, DMP often uses bought data.
Generally, yes. And that ties into the identity point. CDPs build profiles of specific, identifiable people. DMPs deal with anonymous segments based on cookies or device IDs. And finally, lifespan. CDPs hold on to data for a long time to build that deep customer understanding and nurture relationships over years. DMPs usually keep data for a short time, often 90 days or less, mainly for short-term ad targeting.
So really different purposes. DMP for broad, anonymous ad targeting with third-party data, short-term. CDP for deep, personalized understanding using your own first-party data, long-term. Understanding that seems crucial.
It really is. Using the wrong tool for the job leads to frustration and wasted resources.
Okay, so we know what they are, how they differ, but why should you, listening right now, actually care about getting a CDP? What are the real concrete benefits for an organization?
Well, one of the absolute biggest wins is tackling data silos. This is a massive headache for so many companies, especially as they grow. You know the situation. Marketing has some data, sales has different data, support has yet another piece. And none of it talks to each other. A customer complains about a product, then gets a marketing email trying to sell them that exact product. It's inefficient and honestly embarrassing.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. A bad experience.
Right. A CDP breaks down those walls. It brings all that customer and even employee data into one place, makes sure it's accurate, and lets the right people access it. Peter Reinhardt, the CEO of Segment, put it really well. He said something like, everyone in the company needs access to some customer data. CDP is a critical part of the infrastructure that allows customer data to be collected and used consistently across all teams and tools. It's about shared understanding.
So breaking down silos is number one. What else?
Another major advantage is the focus on first-party data. We touched on this, but it's worth stressing. This is the data you collect directly from your customers, visitors, followers. It's your gold. Unlike third-party data, which can be murky or inaccurate, your first-party data is precise, relevant, and you own it. CDPs are built to maximize the value of this data, leading to much smarter marketing decisions and better targeting. Less wasted ad spend, more meaningful interactions.
Makes sense. Use your own most accurate data first.
Absolutely. Then there's the benefit of genuinely knowing your customers better. It sounds simple, but it's profound. A CDP doesn't just collect data, it helps you make sense of it. By creating those complete profiles and analyzing behavior, CDPs build what are called identity graphs, connecting all the dots for each person. This is fundamental for true customer-centric marketing. You can manage relationships better, personalize experiences accurately. It drives loyalty and conversions.
Identity graphs, like a map of each customer.
Kind of, yeah. A map of their interactions and identity across all your touchpoints. And finally, a CDP makes multi-channel marketing way easier and more effective. If your teams struggle now with prepping content for different channels, sharing data between email and social and web, collecting results, a CDP streamlines all that. It unifies the data so your messaging is consistent, and it manages new incoming data efficiently. Your channels start working together, not in conflict.
Okay, the benefits sound pretty compelling. Breaking silos, using first-party data better, truly knowing customers, streamlining multi-channel efforts. But choosing one sounds like a big decision. Probably expensive, definitely complex. What are the pitfalls here? How do you actually pick the right one?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And yeah, picking the wrong one can be a costly mistake, not just in money, but in time and frustration. But you can break it down into manageable steps. There are about 6 key things to consider. Step 1, get your stakeholders involved. Seriously, before you even look at a vendor website, talk to the people in your company who actually collect or use customer data. Sales, marketing, customer service, maybe even finance or IT.
Why is that so crucial upfront?
Because the CDP isn't just a piece of software, it changes processes. You need their input on why you need it, what problems it should solve for them, and what they expect to get out of it. If they're not bought in, you'll struggle to get the full value, no matter how good the tech is. It needs to be an organizational decision, not just a marketing or IT one.
Right. Get everyone on the same page first. Makes total sense. Okay, step 1, involve stakeholders. What's step 2?
Step 2, define your use cases. Don't just say, we need to unify our data. That's table stakes. What do you actually want to do with that unified data? Try to nail down maybe your top 3 most important goals. Is it understanding the full customer journey from first click to final purchase? Is it personalizing your website in real time based on behavior? Is it running super targeted ad campaigns across multiple channels? Or maybe it's finally merging your online and offline sales data. Be specific. Then, when you look at CDPs, you evaluate them based on how well they actually deliver on those specific outcomes you care about.
So focus on the why and the what for, not just the what. Got it. Use cases. What's next?
Step 3, define your necessary tools. Okay, now you need to make a list, a really thorough list of all the software and platforms you already use that this new CDP absolutely has to connect with. Think about your analytics, Google Analytics, maybe others. Your advertising tools, Facebook ads, Google ads. Your CRM, obviously. Live chat software like Intercom. Customer success platforms. BI tools like Looker or Tableau. Your data warehouse like Redshift or BigQuery. Don't forget things like email platforms or even region-specific apps like LAN and ETH if you operate in Thailand. Check potential CDPs to make sure they have solid, reliable integrations with the tools that are critical to your operations. If it doesn't connect to your key systems, it's probably not the right fit.
Compatibility is key. Makes sense. So stakeholders, use cases, tool integrations. What's step 4?
Step 4, gather your requirements. Now, these are slightly different from use cases. Requirements are about the features or characteristics the CDP itself needs to have rather than the outcomes you want. Think about things like data privacy compliance. Does it meet GDPR, CCPA, maybe PDPA in Thailand? Critically, can it handle data deletion requests or pause collection easily? That's non-negotiable these days. Another requirement might be strong identity resolution capabilities. How good is it at stitching together data from different sources to recognize the same person? Or maybe you need certain security certifications like ISO 27001 or SOC 2, especially if you handle sensitive data. You might even require that the CDP helps you establish a clear data tracking plan, not just ingest whatever you throw at it.
Okay, so requirements are like the technical and functional must-haves for the platform itself. Now, we have a pretty detailed shopping list. How do we narrow down the options?
Right. That leads to step 5. Compare vendors. By now, you should have a shorter list of CDPs that seem to meet your needs based on use cases, integrations, and requirements. Now you compare them. And here's a tip. Try to do this comparison without looking at the price tag just yet. Focus on other factors first, like what's their background? Are they geared towards enterprise clients or more towards startups? Does their history align with your company's size and complexity? Do they have proven success stories, case studies that match your specific use cases? Dig into their data compliance features again. How future-proof are their integrations? What's their customer service reputation like? Do they offer uptime guarantees? And definitely read independent user reviews on sites like G2 or Capterra. Get the real scoop from actual users.
Compare on capabilities and fit before price. Good advice. Okay, so we've compared the vendors. Now comes the final decision, right? Price has to factor in eventually.
Absolutely. That's step 6. Consider the ROI, return on investment. The final choice shouldn't just be about the cheapest option. It has to be about value. Try to calculate the potential ROI. A big part of this is the time and cost savings. Think about how much time your engineers or data analysts or marketing ops people currently spend manually pulling data, cleaning it, integrating systems, building reports. Especially if you have, say, 10 or more different systems holding customer data, that manual effort can be enormous. A good CDP should drastically reduce that time, freeing up your team for more strategic work. That translates directly into cost savings and faster execution. If a CDP isn't going to save your team significant time and effort and enable those key use cases, then the investment might be hard to justify, regardless of the sticker price. Focus on the value it unlocks.
That's a really practical framework. Stakeholders, use cases, tools, requirements, compare vendors, then calculate ROI. It makes the potentially overwhelming decision feel much more structured and manageable.
Exactly. It helps you make an informed choice based on your specific needs. And just briefly, looping back to the tools discussion, HubSpot CRM often comes up in this context. It's a good example of a related system. It's a SaaS CRM, ready to go, helps connect data across marketing, sales, service hubs. While it is a CRM, focusing on those known interactions and sales processes, it's the kind of essential system that a CDP would integrate with to enrich that unified profile. They often work hand in hand, and HubSpot offers different tiers to grow with a business.
Right, so tools like HubSpot CRM are part of that ecosystem the CDP needs to connect with. So wrapping this up, it seems clear that CDPs aren't just for massive corporations. Whether you're big or small, if you're dealing with customer data across multiple touchpoints, which is pretty much everyone, now there's a potential fit. Strategically implementing one can really boost efficiency and make your marketing smarter, which is crucial in today's world where understanding your customer is everything.
Totally agree. But the key takeaway is also preparedness. Just buying the tech isn't enough. You need to prepare your organization, adjust your systems, make sure your team is ready and trained to actually use it effectively. That's how you unlock the real growth and efficiency gains. The platform gives you the power, but it's the people and processes around it that really determine the success. So maybe the final thought for you to consider is this. In a world drowning in data, maybe the real edge isn't just having the fanciest platform, but having the human wisdom to turn all those numbers back into genuine understanding, real connections, and ultimately trust with your customers. What does building that trust look like for you starting now?